Have you ever wondered about the history of the Transformers, those chunky mechanized marvels who turned playing with toy cars and jets into a full-blown global phenomenon? But how did these metal marvels come to dominate our screens and toy shelves? Buckle up, because this journey through Transformer history is as wild as a Decepticon with a faulty steering mechanism. I'm Keith, and this is History Wonder. Once upon a time in the early 1980s, the world was a different place. People wore leg warmers and had questionable hairstyles, while toy manufacturers were busy figuring out how to outdo each other. Enter Hasbro, an American toy company with a grand idea: revolutionize the action figure market by combining robots and vehicles into one irresistible package. This wasn't a spontaneous brainwave. Hasbro was inspired by a set of Japanese toys called Diaclone and Microman. These toys featured transforming robots that could turn into vehicles and, on occasion, furniture. Though no one really knows why you'd need a transforming sofa, perhaps it was a Japanese design statement. In a move that would make any business executive proud, Hasbro bought the rights to these toys and rebranded them as the Transformers. And just like that, robots with the ability to morph into cars, planes, and occasionally enormous guns entered the global stage. With a splashy marketing campaign and a dose of creative storytelling, Transformers were ready to roll, literally. Transformers did a remarkable job of establishing a clear-cut battle between good and evil. On the side of virtue, we had the Autobots, led by Optimus Prime, a robot with a voice so deep it could double as a subwoofer. Optimus wasn't just any robot, he was a semi-truck. And if you ever wondered why he chose to be a truck, well, it was probably because he wanted to haul some serious freight in the name of justice. Plus, who doesn't love the idea of a robot with a built-in trailer that could carry a whole team of Autobots? On the flip side, we had the Decepticons, led by Megatron, who was always scheming to take over the universe, or, at the very least, grab the last slice of pizza. Megatron had a voice that could make a steamroller sound like a lullaby. His true form? A gun, because nothing says terrifying overlord quite like a robot that transforms into an oversized sidearm. In one of the most confusing decisions in Transformer history, Megatron's transformation into a gun was supposedly to symbolize his power, though considering how impractical it was for a giant robot to transform into a handgun, it's more likely that Megatron had a penchant for dramatic flair. In 1984, the Transformers made their grand debut on TV, and the world of Saturday morning cartoons was forever changed. The animated series introduced us to a universe where robots could not only transform, but also had emotions, backstories, and even the occasional existential crisis. Every episode was a new battle, with the Autobots defending humanity from the Decepticons' nefarious plans. The show was as much about action as it was about epic speeches and moral lessons, often delivered by characters who could change shape faster than you could say, "Autobots roll out."
Transform and roll out!
The success of the show was due in no small part to its impressive voice cast. Peter Cullen's portrayal of Optimus Prime was so iconic that if you read the phone book, it would probably become a bestseller. Cullen's deep, resonant voice brought a sense of gravitas and nobility to the character, making us believe that a truck could be a hero. Frank Welker, the voice of Megatron, could turn grunts and growls into a symphony of villainy. His performance made Megatron one of the most memorable antagonists in animated history. Together, Cullen and Welker made us believe that robots could be heroes and villains, all while engaging in the most dramatic interstellar battles ever seen. The animated series also introduced a colorful array of supporting characters, from Bumblebee, the friendly yellow Autobot who was the best sidekick ever, to Starscream, the scheming Decepticon who always had a plan to usurp Megatron. The show was rich with memorable characters who each had their own quirks and personalities, contributing to the depth of the Transformer universe. In 1986, the Transformers took a bold leap with their animated movie, Transformers the Movie. This was a watershed moment for the franchise. It was designed to kill off many of the older characters and introduce new ones, effectively rebooting the franchise in the most dramatic fashion possible. The film was like a superhero reboot, but with more explosions and less continuity. The movie featured an epic battle between the Autobots and the Decepticons, and in a shocking twist, Optimus Prime heroically sacrificed himself in a blaze of glory. The scene was so intense, it probably caused a few childhood trauma cases. Of course, Optimus was resurrected later because in the world of robots, dying isn't always permanent. The movie also introduced us to Hot Rod, who would later become Rodimus Prime. His transformation from a rebellious hotshot to the leader of the Autobots was a storyline that added fresh dynamics to the franchise. Despite its mixed critical reception, the movie was a hit among fans. It was a spectacle of animation, music, including the iconic Transformers theme song by Stan Bush, And of course, the always popular dramatic robot battles. It cemented the Transformers' place in pop culture, proving that a giant robot's ability to transform wasn't just a gimmick, it was a way to deliver high-octane entertainment. Fast forward to the late 2000s, and the Transformers were about to undergo another transformation, this time into live-action movies directed by Michael Bay. The first film, released in 2007, brought the transforming robots to the big screen with a bang, literally. Bay's vision of the Transformers was as explosive as a firework factory during a heat wave. His movies were packed with CGI, action sequences, and more explosions than you could shake a stick at. The films depicted the Autobots and Decepticons with a level of detail and realism that was unprecedented. Optimus Prime and Bumblebee looked more lifelike than ever, and the battles between the robots were jaw-droppingly intense. However, Bay's movies were also known for their over-the-top action and somewhat convoluted plots. The storylines sometimes felt like they were written by someone who'd just taken a whirlwind tour through a high school drama class. Despite this, the sheer spectacle of the films drew large audiences, and they became blockbuster hits. The films introduced a new generation to the Transformers, proving that the franchise still had the power to captivate and entertain. The success of the movies led to an expanded Transformers universe. The brand's reach extended beyond the films to include comics, spin-offs, and video games. Each new medium brought its own twist to the Transformer lore. In the comics, the Transformers universe was further explored, with stories that delved into the intricate politics of Cybertron and the rich histories of its inhabitants. The video games were another avenue where Transformers thrived. Titles like Transformers: War for Cybertron and Transformers: Fall of Cybertron offered fans the chance to dive into epic battles and explore the lore of Cybertron in interactive ways. These games were praised for their engaging gameplay and deep connection to the Transformer mythology. The next Hollywood chapter of Transformers will be with the movie Transformers 1 landing in theaters September 2024. It will be the untold origin story of Optimus Prime and Megatron, who once were friends, bonded like brothers, and changed the fate of Cybertron forever. The Transformers franchise has shown that it's more than just a series of toys or movies. It's a cultural phenomenon that has managed to stay relevant across generations. The enduring appeal of Transformers lies in their ability to capture the imagination with their unique blend of technology, heroism, and adventure. From their origins in Japan to their rise in American pop culture, the Transformers have proven that a robot's ability to change shape can be a powerful storytelling tool. In the grand tapestry of toy history, the Transformers hold a special place. They taught us that heroes come in all shapes and sizes, sometimes a truck, sometimes a sports car, and sometimes even a tape recorder. They showed us that even in a world of metal and circuits, there's room for camaraderie, courage, and a little bit of comedic flair. So next time you see a Transformer, whether it's a toy on a store shelf or a character on screen, remember that behind every transforming robot is a story of imagination, innovation, and the occasional misplaced tire. After all, in the world of Transformers, there's always more than meets the eye. Thanks for watching.
You ready?
Always ready. Let's punch in.
Thank you, my friend.
I appreciate you having my back.
No matter what.